Hi, this is Chris from Lord of Lost, and you're watching this on Metal Memes MX.
This program, it's called Metal Meditations. So welcome, Chris.
Hmm.
Uh, you are a very good musician yourself,
Thank you.
and well, your band it's amazing, and you're coming to Mexico. So that's great. I have a few questions for you.
Yeah,
So, well, my first question, I don't know if it's gonna be like a big one, but I wanted to ask you, what's the inspiration behind the whole very unique style of the band?
I don't really know. It's we always change our style from album to album because it's always different things that fascinate us. And what we do now with Blood and Glitter is visually very much glam rock influenced by early 70s glam rock, and musically it's a lot. It's influenced a lot of like 80s wave mixed with modern metal. I can't really say. I think inspiration is something. Of course, I can say like, hey, in my youth, I listened to these artists, or I don't know, I went to the beach today and I got inspired by the sunset, or whatever. I could say all these things, but I think the most inspiration that artists get is the inspiration you don't even realize. Every conversation we have, the conversation with you now, the question you ask me, the things I did 1 hour ago, the things I'm going to do tomorrow, the flight to Mexico, whatever, everything changes me, and it does something with me and with my system of emotions, and it searches its way out one day. I think the most things you as an artist might understand a couple of years later where it's coming from, but I don't really know.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that one because I'm a musician as well, and I feel that part that sometimes you just don't know where it comes from. It just like crashes on your head or in your spirit or whatever, right?
Yeah, the thing is, people always talk about song ideas. They say, hey, I have an idea for a song. So what is an idea? An idea is just a spark of a creative process, but it's not like, okay, I'm gonna sit down now. I'm having ideas now. Come, ideas, come. It's something you can do whatever. And when you're a musician yourself, you just know how it feels like. Like you have a little radio in your head, and you suddenly hear something, or you watch a movie, and the actor in the movie says a sentence or a word, or you see a magazine, and you just I had this one thing this morning. Me and my son, when we had breakfast, sometimes on the mobile phone on YouTube, we watch some while having breakfast. We watch some scientific documentaries. We both love science. He's 11 years old, so we watch something which is interesting for an 11-year-old. And it was about the death of our universe in like
Oh,
100 billion years. And then someone said like, hey, and then there will be this one day where there will be only one star, the last star. And when this last star will die, we don't know what's going to happen with the universe then. And I was like, wow, that's a great song title, The Last Star. And that was just this morning, and it came from a scientific documentary for kids on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure on the next Lord of Lost record there will be a song called "The Last Star." It can come from everything.
that's amazing, man. And it's very interesting that you tell this to me because I'm a huge fan of science as well. And I
Yeah, it's
know,
I love
yeah,
it.
it's crazy. It's sometimes it blows my mind. Sometimes it also makes me realize how small we are and that we
Yeah,
sometimes give way too much importance to some things that maybe are not that important. And
this is
sometimes it
what.
just, yeah.
Yeah, this is what we as artists should never forget. In the end, it's just music. It's of course it's our life and blah blah, and people love it, and we have fans, and we do everything to get like famous and whatever. But in the end, it's just science. you know. So
Yeah,
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 and
totally.
yeah, so I'm not just a huge science fan. I also love Disney mugs. So here's my Disney mug. So
Oh, cheers. I don't have one. I
yeah.
would drink with you. Yeah, man. That's crazy. And I like that answer. So yeah, kudos to that. So, well, you also mentioned this last album, Blood and Glitter, which it's quite good and really interesting as well. And I know you guys did this album while the pandemic still the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I've asked bands like, what was there any like difficulty to create this new album, or was it like really natural for you? Because I've heard some have some issues and some other people like took it and did something great with it. So I want to see what do you think about
No,
that.
we didn't really, like um Blood and Glitter and also Judas were somehow influenced by the pandemic because we couldn't do all the things that we wanted to do. We wanted to go to different places sometime to record something and so on. And then sometimes it was hard to meet people. Blood and Glitter was recorded in Finland. And yeah, we all caught COVID then and blah. So when we came back, and so of course, like these kind of things. But in the end, what the pandemic did to Blood and Glitter was something positive in a way, because we missed playing live so much. And after Judas, which is, it's such a big record with 2 albums and very long songs and everything very moody and deep, and all the topics were very serious. And we felt like the next album should be something you could listen to in like 45 minutes, and when it's done, you have the feeling like you went to a concert. So you have a record with the live feeling, no real ballads, no like, and serious lyrics, yes, of course, but not on the first sight. So when you don't listen to the music, when you don't listen to the lyrics, it can just be like a party record with like a lot of energy. And I think this was just because we miss playing live so much. We try to do a record with transports this live energy, and this might have not happened without the pandemic. So I'm not saying it was a good thing to have the pandemic, but it did something good to Blood and Glitter.
That's amazing. And
I think, sorry to interrupt.
don't worry, don't worry.
I think we wouldn't even have released Blood and Glitter or even have written it until now, because Judas, it's such a big record, and actually we said like Judas was such an amazing amount of work, and we wanted to go on tour with Judas for like 2.5 years or something, and to really feast from this record, to let it live. And we never really had the chance to let it live. And we felt like we don't want people to wait so long until we give them something new after the pandemic. And we don't want to wait so long because we couldn't play shows. So we were like, hey, we have the time now. Why don't we do just another record? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And that thing you said about like giving that energy to the people, like it almost seems to me like you want to wake up the people again, right? From this like number from the pandemic, if you want to put it in those words.
And we wanted to wake up ourselves a little. We needed that. We needed that a lot. Because it felt weird after the pandemic to then start going on tour. And of course, like Judas has like many up-tempo songs as well, and some, but the general mood of Judas is very heavy, like whoa, it's a hard pill to swallow. And we didn't feel like the pandemic is over and let's go on a big Judas tour. So we wanted a different energy.
Yeah, of course. And it is glam and it is heavy and it is electric. So yeah, that's great. So congratulations on that. I have a few more questions for you. Mm-hmm. And I love like all these things about like mysticism and archaeological sites and like the energy and all this stuff. And I see that your lyrics and all this music you produce has a lot of this kind of essence, like mystic essence. So I wanted to ask you, I know you've been here in Mexico before, so I just wanted to ask you if you ever been in any archaeological sites here in the country.
Yes, I think one of the first things we did was visiting this sun and moon pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the right word? The right word for it? And some other places I don't really remember the names now, but it was like some old churches and some places with lots of skulls. And the sad thing is when we go on tour, and as a musician, the most time you spend in backstage rooms and in hotels and buses, and it has to be like that because you're working. You don't come to a city and you're like, hey, I'm playing a concert tonight, so I'm having the day off and I can just do like tourist things. So sadly, we didn't really have that much time. So, and this time it's going to be the same. We're going to Mexico now, then to Argentina, to Chile, to Brazil. And we're doing all this, like 5 shows in 10 days and all the travel days in between. And South America and Middle America is so big. You have all those big distances and airports and planes. And I think I might go, I'm going to Argentina, Chile, and Brazil for the first time. And I might not even see anything of those countries. It's so sad.
Yeah.
But it's our job. So, and if I like it, I want to come back. And I already talked to my family, and we said, like, in one of our next vacations, we want to go to Mexico and visit like Mexico City and maybe go to Cancun and things like that. Yeah.
That's really cool. And near Cancun, there's a lot of things you can visit. Like, I know there is Tulum, and nearby it's Chichen Itza as well. So that those places are magic. And I wanted to ask you this question because one of my favorite songs of the band is Ruins. So
Oh yeah.
So I had like, I imagined this question when I was listening to the song. And the video, it's really cool because it's in like some of this kind of place we were talking about.
Yeah. It's in this old amphitheater. It's kind of close to Guadalajara.
Oh, you did this one here in Mexico?
Yeah.
That video. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I thought this is why you were asking. So, but that's cool. You watched the video and you got the vibe. Yeah, it was like the last time we went there, and we shot this video with a Mexican film company. If you look in the credits of the video, it tells you exactly the place. It's an old amphitheater, like, I don't know, 20 miles outside Guadalajara, high up on a mountain. And because like when we wrote that song, I instantly had something in mind, like this video should be in Mexico. I don't know why. It was just the song just felt like it. So,
oh, that's amazing. And I'm just like mind blown about this fact, because I was going to ask you where was it, and the fact that it's in Mexico, it's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's in the credits. We always put all these things in the credits, like where we shot the video and when and with whom, and yeah.
Oh, I'll check it out for sure. Yeah,
No, come on, let's do it right now.
Let's do it.
I just go to my folder here, videos. I think this video was 2019. Let me check. 2019 Ruins. Where the fuck is that? So now for the people that watch this podcast here, it's gonna be like, oh, it's so boring. Now they're going through YouTube.
Oh, people like it.
Okay. Oh, there it is. It was Parque Mirador Independencia.
Oh, okay.
Guadalajara, Jalisco.
Yeah. Oh, I'll check it out.
Parque Mirador. It's close to some university. And it was the amphitheater of some university, and I'm not sure if it's being used anymore or not, but yeah, there you go.
Oh, that was amazing. I'll check it out for sure. And I don't think they'll find this boring, because we have another podcast where we talk about metal and rock and stuff like this on Saturdays, and people like tune in because we do this live, and they hear us talking all kinds of shit. So Don't
Okay.
worry about
Good.
that.
Good.
Yeah. So, well, I got my last question, and this is one I always do. And it is like, what's the most craziest or bizarre thing you have like experienced on this metal rock and roll road?
Actually, I'm very bad in answering all questions which contain the word "what is your most" or "what is your favorite" or "what is your," because I'm like, it's very hard for me to choose these kind of things. And but there's one thing which is, of course, standing out a lot, and not saying it's bizarre or something, or bad crazy. It's just like very good crazy. And there was the experience that we did last year with Iron Maiden. We toured through 16 countries for 18 shows with Iron Maiden, one of the biggest bands in the universe. I in this world, and maybe even in the universe. And that was amazing. But the most amazing thing was not the size of the sizes of the stadiums and the big crowds. Of course, that was awesome. But in the end, it's the same every day. When you see one big stadium and you see another big stadium the other day, it's not that surprising anymore. The amazing thing was the people, the Iron Maiden crew, the Iron Maiden band, the humanity, the geniality, how like respectful they were, how they kind of made us part of the family for this time. That was very special. And you know, some people say never meet your idols, but with Iron Maiden, I must say meet your idols. They are even better than you expect. They are
I can
just great.
imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine, man. And yeah, they're maybe the biggest band of history of metal, right?
Yeah, and they're
So yeah,
really
that's crazy.
nice, friendly, and good people. You know, they are down to earth people, and there's such a good example how bands and crews should interact and behave, and for such a long time. And it's amazing.
Well, that's a cool answer though, because it's about metal, and this is a heavy metal program. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. And not everybody has this like can say like I tour with Iron Maiden, so that's a super cool fact as well.
We know that, and I'm very thankful and very humble about that, because I know it's just they choose their special guests, and the most crazy thing is they chose us again for this year, so we're gonna go on tour with them again, which is
so it's double crazy.
Yeah, it's double crazy.
That's amazing, man. Well, thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope I can see you here in Mexico, because you're coming really soon. I think next
Yeah,
week.
we're flying, and the boys are flying tomorrow. I'm flying Friday, and we're playing Guadalajara on Saturday and Mexico City on Sunday this week.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So you didn't hear that from me. You hear that from the vocalist of the band himself, Chris the Lord Harms. Thank you so very much, man.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure, and I hope I can see you here in Mexico
Hope
live.
so.